Suddenly we are live for you
Suddenly.
over YouTube. Sponsored by Amsu with her singing. And you guys looking at us on YouTube. We are trying a new comp today. I hope it looks alright.
Niin, kompis.
Kompis.
Kaveri, friend.
If you think why I'm looking so tired, it's because I am tired. And we'll see what happens this time.
If I look tired,
Wow.
I am tired. Onko tää nyt ok? On se?
Kaikki.
Yeah. It can be there.
It can be there. We have a computer that we will share from time to time, but hey, cut the crap. Let's get down to it. Sound seems fine. Welcome to listen to podcast. All right, let's start.
3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Front Desk Survivors. There will be ghost stories today, so we are talking about haunted hotels. But before we do start, well, I'm just gonna say that we're not talking about our current job. And that said, now let's dig in. Enter first jingle right now.
Ding.
Super fast. That's mostly
Very
because last time we recorded like 1 hour and a half, 1 hour 50 minutes, something like that. That was crazy.
And it went like.
We went like that. Whatever that meant. But yeah, today, haunted hotels. I was asking for stories on Instagram. Nobody told any stories, so that means that
thanks.
either I was not convincing enough, or then people just haven't been working in haunted hotels, or has never stayed in a haunted hotel.
They just got shocked from the story, and you were so scary.
Yeah, but I hope that people are curious of what we have to say today.
Yeah, so we have all the information is from internet. Oh, we have some own
we have some goodies.
Yes, but I just have to say before we start that it was surprisingly difficult to find any stories we want to share here, because when you're like searching for haunted hotels, you just get a list of a lot of hotels.
Yeah.
But then it's like, people notice that things move and the lights are flickering. And then we are like, wow, great stories we have to share.
So exactly. Yeah. That's not interesting. And well, what I noticed, you just put haunted hotels and it gives you a lot of lists. Like, these are the most haunted hotels. You open that, then you open another list, different hotels. And I'm like, okay, so which are the most? And there's like the whole Google first page and probably second page, but nobody goes there.
So I was at like page 10.
Oh, you were digging
deep.
Yes, indeed. Wow. All right. So, well, I was scrolling the first page and I was like, okay, so only like, these are. And I'm looking like there was AccuWeather, so the same like my phone's weather app was telling me like, hey, these are the most haunted. Yeah, they have also news. So that was there. It was super weird, but you can check it out.
But by the way, did you know that most of the haunted hotels are from USA? Or I noticed it was like USA, and then like London, USA.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I noticed that.
Are they like they have like a wild imagination?
Probably.
I don't know.
It's difficult to say yet, but maybe I will tell later about something I read online. But Amanda, have you been working in a haunted hotel?
No. Lame.
Have you been working in allegedly haunted hotels or something that might have been? Even though it wasn't said out loud.
Nothing. Right. Seriously, nothing. Have you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
I have. And obviously I didn't know it when I started that, it has that kind of a backstory. I knew the story of the hotel. It belonged to, let's just say some famous couple in around there. Okay. And but apparently there was a little darker story behind the hotel. Their daughter, so it wasn't the beachfront hotel, it was nearby the ocean, and their daughter apparently, or niece, somehow
girl.
related girl, got drowned in the ocean, and was now then claimed to be roaming around the hotel. And actually we had kitchen staff who claimed to see the girl like kind of like a flash, kind of like just running through like behind the door hole that from a room to another, just to see like very peak of some like corner of your eye. And this sentence, corner of my eye, I actually was repeated in many stories that nobody sees them clearly. They just like
but I found
something.
information that they really see them clearly.
Okay, so
but
I will be staying tuned for that.
Yeah. But I was also thinking like, okay, it's always some dramatic things that have happened, and that's why they are still haunting the house and so on. But they are always from like 100 years ago or something.
Yeah.
So we don't have any ghosts that like died 2005 and now they are haunting.
Yeah. Why is that?
Yeah, why? I don't know. I was just wondering about this.
That's a good wondering. Well, however, just going back, I never experienced anything haunted in the hotel I was working at.
But do you believe in this stuff?
Well, it's very difficult to say. I don't want to believe in it, but then again, it wasn't only like the kitchen staff who claimed to see something, but also our hotel director actually was kind of not scared, but was saying that she experienced something. So, and she was talking about like this old man figure who was like close by the fireplace most of the time. So most of the sightings.
He was just chilling there.
Chilling there, yeah. But yeah, that when you, at least as I probably said in the last episode or so, that when you put like haunted hotels or the most haunted hotels in California, at least it's in one of the lists. It's the number one. Then I click the second list, it's not even mentioned in the top 10.
Yeah, but this was exactly the problem.
Yeah, so you can find it. But it's a historical hotel. It comes with a story. Obviously, they don't brand with it. There are hotels that use haunted hotels in branding.
Yes, I have one example.
You have one example? Okay, I have one example also from the past. Should we take our examples right now?
Let's do that.
All right. You go first. I go first?
Yeah, just go.
I'm
just do it.
Since I'm already going. All right.
Exactly.
So there's in the city of Imatra where I was studying, there's this
in Finland.
In Finland, yes, state hotel Imatra. It's like this old castle, 100 and something years old, let's say, and they joined the current like hotel chain or so. They still had on their websites kind of like story about this gray lady, which was like wife of some military man in Russia.
It's, by the way, very often like the white lady.
It
is, gray
yeah.
lady.
Yeah. It's never blue lady or, well, if it would be a red lady, that would be also kind of horrifying. But it is like that.
Yeah.
Oh, black lady, that's then.
That's also a thing.
Yeah, well, that's a movie. The Woman in the Black, I guess.
Yeah, but also.
Anyways, so, where was I? Oh yeah, the gray lady. So they were advertising on their website about the gray lady that but I believe it was because they already had the rumor that they have this gray lady ghost in there. So how the story very fast, if I tell, so that there was like this couple from Russia. And apparently they were highly appreciated or something. They had maybe their honeymoon over there, and then they returned once a year over there, getting the suite and having
for their
fun.
Anniversary, right?
Anniversary, yeah. And then once this lady then came alone there, and then she disappeared without a trace, and still to this date the body remains to be unfound. Or how do you say it? Not
disappeared.
Disappeared. It's
it's a mystery.
It's a mystery. At least I guess so.
Yeah.
It's because I'm not reading this story. I just remember how it was.
Yeah.
Anyways, a maid cleaned her room and found something from the room. However, the maid's uniforms were then changed like the same day or something very inconveniently, and they found like years later from the old maid's old uniform pocket like a suicide letter which was saying that, okay, my husband has been unfaithful and I decide to take my life on the river or
it's like
dam. What is it? Maybe. But there's like this bridge and then
Yeah, it's a thing when people are visiting Imatra, then they go and check
obviously,
this out,
yeah, it's a local landmark.
Yes.
However, then there's no river anymore. There's just the dam that keeps the river from flowing, and there's just rock bottoms. Maybe there was no
But
dam.
they are opening then. And, yeah,
it's on the summertime. But I'm not sure if at this time of this suicide there was water or not. Probably there was flow. So, but anyway, she jumped from there, and now she's then hunting in the hotel. But where I was going was that this hotel is actually, or was saying that it's a friendly ghost who actually arranges some tables and chairs at the night in the Great Hall where I was working in a restaurant then. So I was feeling the chill. No, but I have a lot of friends who worked in the hotel and still is working, some of them, and doesn't matter which shift they have not experienced anything haunting, and it cannot be found anymore from the hotel website because they belong to a different chain, and they kind of try to get rid of that.
Yeah, okay. But when they had the text, do you remember like was it a way of marketing, like, hey, come and visit us and visit the Grey Lady?
No,
or was it just like the story?
I think it was just the story that there was so much rumors about it that they just had to mention a story that, hey, sure, there is this, and this is the story behind this Grey Lady, but she's a friendly ghost.
I see.
Yeah.
But actually, I have one example of a hotel. They are very much marketing these spirits over there. There's many different kinds of
many different kind of spirits.
Yes,
wow.
And they are. This is actually in many of the lists when you search for haunted hotels. This is one of them actually, which you can find in several lists. And often when there's like articles about haunted hotels, the picture there is often from this hotel. And
all right, so it looks creepy.
Yeah, it's like it's a white castle-like.
And it's not renovated, I guess. Something which is renovated cannot look creepy.
Yeah, but it wasn't actually creepy, but it was like old, beautiful, but then like, big, like, wow, majestic.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's actually close to the Rocky Mountains, so it was very beautiful. People go there also for the nature and stuff. And the owner, which opened this hotel in 1909, if I remember
1909,
correctly.
all right.
Yeah, so he had tuberculosis. Tuberculosis?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Tuberculosis.
Aha.
Yeah, I don't know what it's in English.
Yeah, let's just make it in
tuberculosis.
Finnish. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, and the doctor told him to go somewhere where he can find very fresh air, so he has easier to breathe. And that's when they found this place.
I was told to go somewhere where I can find very fresh hair. That's because I don't have hair. People from Apple Podcasts
you obviously
like,
didn't
what?
find it.
No, I didn't. Okay, burn. I just got myself burned for nothing. All right. Yeah, go for it.
Well, you really gave it to me.
I
did.
I did.
Anyway.
Yeah, fresh air.
Fresh air, and then they opened this so they could have like their friends over, and then they just opened this as a hotel and blah blah blah. And this is I didn't say the name. This is the Stanley Hotel.
Stanley Hotel.
Yes, and this is mostly known for that Stephen King, who wrote The Shining, the horror movie. I have actually never seen it. I have seen dun, dun, dun.
Shame on you.
I know what it's about, and I have seen the twins and the young boy and blah blah blah.
Red Room.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So so Stephen King stayed there for a night in the room 217.
217.
Yes. And he was there with his wife.
All right.
And he saw
which was 17 at the time.
And Stephen was okay. Anyway.
Okay. Was just a teen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, and he had a horrible nightmare where he saw his 3-year-old son running in the aisles, and he was chased by something. Yeah. And he woke up from this nightmare, and he was like all sweaty, and his heart was pounding, and he was like, oh my god, and I can't sleep, and it was so horrible. So then he just sat up, took a cigarette, and then just wrote this whole movie all at once.
Oh, wow.
And he was then, this is actually in the movie, the haunted room or
All
something
right.
is 237, but that's actually wrong. The original is 217.
Oh,
Fun fact of the day.
why is that wrong?
I don't know actually, but yeah, here in the hotel, they market that they have market. They
Market, yeah.
yeah, that they have these spirits in the hotel,
Yeah.
and they are arranging all kinds of spirit like tours, ghosts chasing tours.
Okay, so wait a second. Is anyone actually staying in the hotel,
Yes,
or
yes,
is
yes,
it
yes,
okay?
it's totally open, and I'm actually totally open.
Totally.
And yeah, they are arranging all kinds of like murder mystery dinner, and they are taking a lot of advantage from this The Shining movie, because
Yeah.
The Shining was not actually filmed there.
It was not. All
no,
right.
but the whole idea came from
But
his
it was
horrible
based there.
nightmare. Yeah.
And if I book room 237 from there, I'm just enjoying my night, and they're just open the door, and here you can see the room. Like, they're doing the ghost tour. When
Yeah,
are they gonna do that?
Yeah, wait. There's like a
Wait,
different,
alright.
different. There's like I think 3 different buildings, and then they also have Pet Cemetery, and it's like
Pet Cemetery.
Yeah, and
That's sad.
so there's a golden retriever ghost running around
Golden
there.
retriever ghost.
Yeah, and
Wow.
on the 4th floor
That's cool.
there was women and their children staying there before, like 100 years ago.
Okay.
So you can still hear when there are children laughing around. And then the whole like
Yeah.
the main spirit is chambermaid, and she was
Chambermaid.
housemaid, but it was chambermaid
Aha.
told in all the texts.
All right.
And in the room 217, there was a gas explosion, and she was in the room, and she was like, "Whoom!" and she fell down and broke both of her ankles. But
Only. So there was a gas explosion, but only ankles were broken. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a
And
miracle.
and then but she was then fine after a while, and she then continued working there until 1951. She died in her sleep at the hotel, and she's now there with everyone along checking.
How do you recognize that it's her? Because she cannot walk because her ankles are. But
No, the ankles were fine after a while. She took some sick leave, and then she was back.
Yeah, exactly. You get 3 days.
Yeah.
Like I was in a gas explosion and I broke both my ankles. Yeah, right, mate.
Yeah, and this housemaid or chambermaid does love married couples when they stay there.
Does love them.
Yes, but
In what way?
she likes them.
Okay.
But if you're a couple and you are not married, but you stay together
Oi.
and you sleep in the same bed, you can feel this like some kind of like thing that drags you away from each other, because she doesn't accept that you sleep in the same bed. And if you're a single man just staying there,
What happens then?
she packs your bags and put them outside the room door.
Very convenient for the morning.
Yes. Thank you, chambermaid.
Yeah, you have it to go.
Yeah, but this is like, so it's now they have all these, you are searching for the ghosts, and there's obviously the owners as well. They're haunting, and the owner's wife is playing the piano during the nights and so on. So it's a lot happening there.
I mean, she's dead
Yeah,
playing the piano,
yeah,
so there's
yeah.
no actually
No,
person
no.
coming to play
No,
the piano.
they are dead, the owners as well.
All right.
But yeah, so it's like it was a lot of different spirits and dogs running around, and I don't know, it's crazy. And they have this like the shining ball and masquerade stuff and so on, and you can go there for the guided tour just like an outside person, and just pay. And then you also, if you are staying there, you can buy this like the shining package or something.
Of course, so they're making money out of it.
Yes, so then you get like
You get the hammer, and you can hammer an axe, and you can just break a bathroom door. That's like the shining package. Damn,
Exactly.
they have a lot of broken doors over there.
Yeah, but I think it was like a cup where it said red rum, and then also.
Wait a second, they have red rum over there. That's a very good idea. Hey, patent pending.
Okay.
Thanks.
And then they have like this, you get some kind of machine so you feel the energy from the spirits and blah, 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 blah.
Wow. Oh, yeah, those kind of machines.
Yeah.
I've seen those in like those TV shows where they hunt.
Yeah, exactly.
Hunt
Ghostbusters.
Well, not that kind of machines necessarily, but the kind of like radiation. You're
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
okay, so the spirit's here.
Yeah, but there's, for example, the movie Dumb and Dumber. You know that movie with Jim Carrey?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, so Jim Carrey actually stayed in the room 217 and he left during the night because it was so horrible. Da, da, da. And then I watched a small documentary about this hotel. So there was some
Dedication
right here. It was some hotel staff member. I don't know if she was the hotel manager or who she was, but she was like just telling about this, and yeah, you can come and found out yourself, like, and get to know these spirits. And then they just asked that, do you think that this reputation does get you more customers? And she said, yeah, over 50% of the customers are there because of this, that they want to search for the ghosts. Over 50%.
That's crazy, but if you are like that crazy popular for the ghosts, I understand it. Did you pop up the TripAdvisor and see if people were complaining or?
Yeah,
saying?
well, there was people who said there's definitely something. I felt it in the room. But then people also say that it's a very nice hotel as well.
Yeah,
so when you are
must be.
at their website, they are, for example, arranging weddings there and so on. So it's a very nice hotel. But
Okay.
then when I was actually, dedication right here, I tried to make a booking,
Okay.
but I didn't pay.
Ah.
So I was just like checking, like, okay, they have these different kind of room categories.
Yeah.
And of course, they have Stanley Spirited King Room, which is
Wow.
the 217.
Ooh.
And you can book that one, but of course it's a lot more expensive
How
than
much?
the other ones. Well, this is 15 square meters, this spiritual room, and it's for one night, $469.
Okay. Well.
But
yeah.
these other rooms, which are like 37 square meters, 26, 27, but like a lot
Yeah,
bigger.
double the size almost.
Yeah, and they are like 339, 359
But there's like $100
difference.
more.
Yeah.
Well, that's not too bad. And like, I want a haunted room. Yeah, you got it, boss.
Yeah, but they're also here telling about like, yeah, come here to our spirited rooms and blah blah blah. And I don't know, I was like, it would be pretty interesting.
Would be very interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So I am like, I feel you guys who are traveling because of this.
Yeah.
Do you know, because tourism can be categorized in all different kinds of ways, but this is a part of the dark tourism.
Is it? Yeah.
Yes, and dark tourism, the definition of it is that you're traveling to places that are like connected to death or suffering in any way.
All right.
But I don't know if this is like, okay, yeah, it's about death. But then this is also a part of just a cultural tourism as well, because you are learning about the history and so on of the places. So I tried to search for the demand of like this ghost hunting tourism, but I didn't find any facts.
You had to go
So
to the dark
sorry.
web to find it, I
Yeah.
guess. But it must be a lot. There must be a lot of
Yes.
people who are very interested in this, because obviously there's a lot of horror movies and people love horror movies.
Indeed.
Even though if they don't love it, people watch horror movies
Yeah.
just to feel the danger and also the horror. So why wouldn't you like, all right, that's a good idea. Let's just instead of going somewhere normal, let's just go to something a little bit more special, but not special in that way.
Exactly,
That it
yeah.
would get us onto the mood.
Yeah, and this is like this is a way of feeling the danger, but not being that dangerous that you would like, for example, hurt yourself
Yeah.
or something. You just get excited and ooh, so exciting with ghosts.
Yeah, I don't know if there has been too many cases where ghosts have killed people
Yeah,
in their
I don't
hotel.
think so.
Well, but you can't say. There's actually that one mystery with some lady who was acting weird in the elevator and then found from the roof, from the water tank.
Yeah.
Nobody knows what happened to her. I've
Yeah,
seen her.
was this in
I have no idea where.
Japan?
No, I have a feeling it was in the United States, but it was
Really?
maybe just an Asian woman. I have no
Oh,
idea.
yeah.
I have no idea, but I've seen like multiple times I've been on YouTube like looking some listed videos, like, you know, like top 10 something
Yeah.
and something, and I like unsolved mysteries or unsolved deaths or something like this. And I've seen those videotapes from the hotel elevator so many times that actually creeps me out a little bit.
Yeah. I actually, one kind of similar story is about, this is a girl from the US, and she passed away. Unfortunately, this was a few years ago, and I actually checked this video as well yesterday. And is it okay? Yeah. And they had some kind of party in a hotel room, and then you can see from the security cameras that she goes out from the room, and she's obviously, it seems like she's very, very drunk, but it seems also like she's not even drunk, that it's something weird going on. And she was like just hitting herself like towards the walls all the time when she was walking, and she was like boom, boom. And then she was walking around the hotel for an hour, and she was found in the fridge, dead, in the kitchen fridge after the night.
Okay, so basically she was drugged. She was drugged.
Yeah, I think so too.
And then she was just, you know, just going crazy and probably hiding in the fridge and couldn't get out.
Yeah. Horrible.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Way to ruin the mood. I was just getting excited on hotels. Yeah. On scary hotels.
Please go on.
I don't know. Let's
planning that.
There's a place for a jingle. Let me get a story from there.
Siinä.
For example, yeah. So, sorry. There we go.
Jonas is like a grandfather. Not even funny.
Not even funny. All right. So I stumbled upon this website. Obviously, this was one of the, when I was just Googled very simply haunted hotels.
Yeah.
And I saw the same thing, that there was a lot of from United States. So I decided, I just, haunted hotels, Europe. I'm like, first time
been
using
there,
Google.
done that.
Oh, you've been there as well.
Yes.
So but this really caught my eye. I was thinking, like, I was clicking that these are more or less ridiculous, but this one is beyond funny, because it seems like that it's been written by someone from the US.
Okay. Yeah. Of course.
Yeah, it's from Travel Life magazine.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently their slogan is "Everywhere you want to be."
Oh.
Headline is "Ghosts in Hotels and about the most haunted hotels in Europe." They say that ghost encounters in hotels are especially plentiful in Europe. We give you a rundown of the best places for ghost hunting in case you're in the mood for haunted hotels and travel experiences this Halloween. So the timing of this podcast is not right now.
Yeah. But actually, it's pretty good with this ghost hunting like services, because it's like an all-around thing. Obviously, Halloween is the
of course. Yeah, that's the best time.
But it's like you can find ghosts every day of the year.
Yeah, probably. But I don't know if they take a summer holiday or something. But when you think of, like, for example,
the ghosts.
Yeah, for if you think of Finland, like, we have a period of summer that there's no darkness. Yeah. Basically, so haunted hotel doesn't necessarily work, because
you just have to go to the basement and then. Ooh.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's a good point. Anyways, from the article, I'll just give you like highlights of the story. So it says, in Europe, every other building is at least 300 years old, and countless people have lived, died, and even been murdered within their walls. I was like, all right, nice.
All right, basic.
It says that lots of buildings in France and England have even plugs. So, what a plug is. Rather than difficult word to pronounce.
Yeah. Once again.
On their walls, saying something like, this person died here in this year, when a famous person is known to have died in that house.
Yeah.
So, so that's something that some places do. So there's some of the most haunted hotels in Europe. They mention Dalhousie Castle in Scotland, Château de Brissac in France, Hotel Burg Rheinstein, Germany. And Decibel Hotel in Romania.
I don't know.
And that was it. Okay. well, they don't tell any story. I was like mentioning maybe some of our listeners might be if someone was
there.
Work there, please contact us.
Yeah, but that was the problem. Just lists.
Yeah, but this person is kind of weird. He or she says that my cousin who claims to have a third eye that enables her to her to see spirits recently recalled checking into a chateau hotel in Bordeaux, France. I'm not telling about that story, but scrolling down, you know, this is like something going on. There's one funny line that I'm just kind of trying to find.
Oh, okay.
And
is it like a joke or something? Oh, this was good for a haunted hotel.
Well, basically, because I was reading it, I was kind of looking through.
Yeah.
And, okay, so he's telling, it's the author, man or woman, I don't know. Another summer, I was staying alone at one of Venice's top hotels and very much enjoying a room filled with antiques and facing the Grand Canal. However, again, in the middle of the night, I awoke with a jolt, feeling incredibly hot and suffocated.
Mm-hmm. Hot?
Yeah.
It's often that you feel the coldness.
Exactly. I automatically assumed it was the air conditioning, and so I called the front desk to complain.
Basic.
Like what?
Always.
It's always the AC, huh? Okay, so the night clerk arrived within minutes. White as sheet. Without explanation, he moved me to another room, where I promptly resumed a comfortable rest.
Very good.
Yeah.
And the story in the end.
Well, it goes on and on and on, but then a couple of chapters later, I found out from one of the young men at the concierge desk, who I bumped into at the pizzeria one evening, that my first hotel room was known to be haunted, and that guests often complained feeling suffocated while sleeping there. And then it continues. That's why the night clerk looked like he'd literally seen a ghost. it like obviously that was a given. And the next line is literally like a topic also. Britain is full of ghosts, but it's probably just the people they don't get sun too much. It's raining all the time, so I'm not gonna read the.
I actually read that the most haunted city is. I think it was Colorado.
In Colorado?
I think so.
That's the most haunted
place, yeah.
Place. All right, that was my first story.
Was it Chicago? Okay, sorry, I don't remember.
Okay, people from Chicago, let us know.
Yeah, please. Okay, but I'm actually gonna share one creepy story from my experiences.
Oh, wow.
When I was just visiting a hotel.
Oh, so this is not the employee experience. This is just...
No, just a tourist experience.
Go on.
And this was, we were staying with my friends and colleagues. We were on a gig. I was dancing, as I told some episodes ago. So we were in Oslo.
Wait a second. So you were staying with your dancer girlfriends?
Yeah. And
all right.
boyfriends.
I would have so hoped to hear this story in a Hotel Sex episode. If you haven't heard it, go listen to it now. But you will be kind of disappointed from Amsu's side stories. But all right, go on.
Anyway, yeah. So we had been traveling for the day, and then we also had like sound check and the gig and stuff. And it's like we had a very, very long day.
All right, gotcha.
So then we came to the Grand Hotel in Oslo.
All right.
Oslo in English, yeah.
Gotcha.
And it's a very, very nice hotel. If you ever have the chance to visit, just go. And there is a lot of celebrities staying there. For example, Obama and Amsu.
Yeah, sounds like a place I cannot afford to stay, but go ahead.
Yeah, but then it's great for the celebrities and artists and so on because they have great security and they are very used to it and everything runs so smoothly and so on. So this is actually very important for them that they have this like great security system over there.
Yeah, must be.
Yeah, and then it was nighttime.
Okay, what happened at nighttime?
And I was staying in the same room with my friend Lotta.
All right, Lotta.
Lotta. And we were sleeping in the same bed.
Wow. This is not a horror story yet, at least.
And then I felt hot.
All right.
Anyway, we were like, okay, good night. and just started sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was super tired, so I immediately fell asleep.
Yeah.
And then I just remember that I wake up to this boom, 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 boom. And I hear a girl screaming and that she's running like in the aisle somewhere on the floor.
But that was not Lotta, was it?
That was not Lotta. But I was just like, huh, what was that? And it was all dark in the room, so because it was night.
Yeah, obviously.
And then I was like, okay, well, probably some drunk girl running around, whatever. And then I just like switched position, like, just a bit like, okay, going back to sleep. And then I was like, what? Who is next to me in the bed? And I somehow thought I was at home. And when I started to look around the room, I saw everything I have at home. And I thought I was in my bedroom. And I tend to sleep alone. So I wasn't used to having someone next to me.
Mm-hmm.
And then because it was dark, I didn't see. I just saw some kind of figure. And I was like, uh-oh. And then I was like slowly trying to put my light on, which is next to my bed.
In your bedroom?
In my bedroom, exactly. And because I saw everything as it is in my bedroom. And I tried to search for the light switch.
Yeah.
But I couldn't grab it, and I didn't understand why. But it was because it's not there. But I was trying to, and I was like, uh-oh, and I tried, I was getting panicked in a way.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, things is about to go down. And then I was like,
you're about to punch Lotta.
yeah. Then I took her arm or something, and I shouted, "Who are you?" And it's weird because I think my strongest language is maybe Swedish, but I actually shouted in Finnish.
All right.
Which is, that was also...
So that's like, the scary part for you.
Yeah, I was like, what? Do I speak more Finnish? Yeah, anyway. then I took, I grabbed her and I was like, who are you? Who are you? But it was like, I was so panicked, so that was the only thing I could, yell.
Yeah.
And the person didn't say anything. And then I was ready to just boom out of the bed, but then she was like, oh, and it was like she kind of got the light bulb
so the light came on.
No, but the scary part of this is, okay, I don't really tell this as a scary story, but anyway, Lotta went to sleep at the same time as I did, and she woke up to this boom 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 boom. And was like, oh, what was that? Oh, well, going back to sleep. And she turned around towards me. And we were we had been sleeping our backs towards each other. So we both kind of moved in a mirror. And then she was like, okay, who is in my bed? And when she looked around the room, she saw her bedroom. And she was like, she was started to get panicked as well. And when I grabbed her, she couldn't say anything because she was so panicked. But then after a while, she was like, and she understood that it's me. And when
but at this point, you didn't understand that you were like, who are you?
and Lotta has passed away. No.
What?
Sorry.
This story took just a horrible twist.
No, but it was when I heard her voice, I was like, and then I suddenly remember that, oh, Jesus, we are on a work trip.
Jesus.
Jesus, is it you?
He was there as well.
And then when I understood that it's her, the whole room changed boom.
Yeah.
Back to the hotel room. And at the same time, I saw that I'm not anymore in my own bedroom. I'm in the hotel room. That same thing happened to Lotta.
Okay, so
we both thought that we were in our own bedroom, and we were looking at each other, thinking, "Who is in my bed?" and getting panicked. And then we both just understood, we are here. Boom. And it was in the movies when there's an imagination scene
exactly
when it's
kind of movies I watch,
clouds and stuff. It was ding, 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 ding.
Oh, okay, so it shattered in a very nice way.
Yeah, it was and we were what? And And then I finally find the light switch because now I saw where the lamp really
it wasn't
is.
even close where
Yeah,
you tried to
no.
grab like the air.
No,
like,
and after that it was like the heart was just pounding and you were so sweaty and it felt like my head is exploding. It was it was horrible and we couldn't sleep anymore. We had to put on all the lights and we just sat there and we were like and we had to take like painkillers because it just hurt so much in your head.
Yeah, okay. I'm sorry.
And
yeah.
during the breakfast next morning, we asked
They
the
didn't
other
have olives.
They did have olives.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, oh, you don't have olives.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah, but then we asked the other guys. We were a pretty big group. Like, hey, dudes, did you hear this screaming and stuff? And they were like, what the fuck are you? Oh, what are you talking about? And we were like, what? So nobody else have actually heard this noise except the two of us. And it's weird that both of us in the same room heard this.
I mean, I think
I'm getting sweaty.
It's fair to ask, like, you were a dancer group, guys, girls, had a long day. What kind of drugs did you use before going to sleep?
Nothing. And we were actually underage as well. We didn't drink anything, like nothing.
Mm-hmm. That's
wild.
Wild.
And I was just hoping, I was like, for real, on page 10, searching for Grand Hotel Oslo haunted hotel, ghost stories, everything. I was like, please give me something that someone has experienced, something else.
But nothing.
Nothing.
And you were the first one to write it?
Right.
Write it online. If nobody writes it, how people can know?
I was thinking the same. I haven't write it anywhere, but I maybe should.
Yeah, the same thing goes to complaints, you know, and well, good stuff as well. Giving reviews, that's basically what it is. But the stories, the story goes on, and I will put so much hashtags on this video on YouTube that people will find it. I will just put Grand Hotel Oslo,
haunted hotel,
2 girls, 1 bed, all kind of hashtags. So we will have a very controversial audience.
Yeah,
right.
But it was wild. But when I was searching,
that was wild.
Yes,
that's like straight from Girls Gone Wild movie, really. Like.
Oh my god! But yeah, when I was searching for Grand Hotel Oslo, ghost story, blah blah blah, it was all the time information about Grand Hotel in Helsingborg, and Helsingborg is a city in Sweden, the southern part of Sweden. And I was like, okay, just open the links when you're like, Google, please.
Google, please.
You're
give it to me.
all the time giving me this Grand Hotel Helsingborg.
And what did you find?
I found out that...
Sing it out, come on, give it to me.
That there's actually, this is also like an old hotel.
All right.
And here, in the 1920s, a man checked in with a woman.
With a woman.
Yes. And they were like, ooh, drama! I'm so sorry.
Why these stories, they start good. They start good.
Yeah, a man checked in
a man,
with a woman to room 585 on the 5th floor.
Did the man check in to the woman? No, okay, now, go on. Wrong episode.
Probably, yeah, because
all right.
Later that night, another woman came and asked,
Another woman came
Where
there.
is my husband?
What?
He's with another woman. Oh my god, I'm so sorry guys that you have to listen to this voice.
What?
And she went to the room, and the woman the man checked in with was a mistress. And because they had some problems within their marriage,
all right,
they decided, okay, let's just try once more. So they killed the mistress.
Wow.
She was never found. She never checked out. And the man and the woman, the married couple, left. And this mistress is still there today. And the 5th floor, that's the highest floor in the hotel. That's the most like
haunted.
Spiritual floor. And here, a lot of the flight attendants and stewards from SAS, the Scandinavian Airlines, stayed. And they have had so many horrible experiences. Many of them have been pushed out of bed when they have been asleep. They feel cold air. They feel like someone is watching you all the time, and you see the curtains moving. So they have refused that they will never stay there again because it's such a horrible hotel. And this was like big news that SAS flight attendants are not staying, especially on the 5th floor. They were fine with some of the other floors because it was not haunted, but the 5th floor especially. And sometimes some flight attendants were so scared that they came down to the lobby and slept on a couch because they couldn't stay in that room because they were so scared and they felt all the time something. But because this was such a big
the story
thing,
goes on.
The hotel had to renovate the whole floor to get away with
to
all
get away of the floor.
Yeah,
it's now 4
and like
floors.
Get away with the spirits and like the old furniture and stuff. They thought like if they are connected somehow to that, so that's now renovated, and what I understood, it's not haunted anymore.
Okay, so they finally found the mistress somewhere buried in the walls and got rid of her, and now everything's fine.
Everyone is happy. Yeah.
Okay, quite a story.
I know,
you just
right?
stumbled upon that by accident.
No, it was like 1,000 of links to this thing, and I was
dedication.
like,
That's what it takes. That's what it takes.
Cheers to
and
that.
Still, this episode sucks. All right. What was that little?
Well, I almost like
spit it out. All right. Every time this happens. Every time. Yeah, that was all right.
Wild.
That was all right.
That was all right. Like
3
out of 5.
I have like now I really feel like going to stay in a haunted hotel really
Me too.
because I haven't never thought of any of the hotel that I would stay that would be haunted. There was this story, I can read it later, that said that any hotel that has been open, or any hotel, the building more than 10 years old, has had some deaths in it. So even though people come and go for a couple of nights, in 10 years, then things happen, and some people pass away. And then obviously it's very related to haunting if someone passes away. It's not like, I'm going to stay in a hotel and then I leave completely healthy and then I'm haunting there. Like it doesn't happen.
No.
But so yeah, I was working in this so-called haunted hotel that I didn't experience anything, but there was one scary experience, and I try to tell this very shortly. But I was in the evening shift, and it was almost the end of my shift.
Okay.
My shift ended at 11 p.m. So it was maybe 10:30 p.m. and that was usually very quiet time because we closed our bar at 10 o'clock, and then I was just basically waiting for the night audit to come, and I could tell him or her that hey, these are the things that happened, and so on.
Yeah.
But 10:30, all quiet, almost nobody was staying in the hotel during the week.
Yeah.
And I didn't hear her, but suddenly I feel like, okay, someone is there. Like someone is somewhere watching you. You know the feeling when someone is watching you. And in the front desk, people are quiet.
Yeah, pretty basic.
Then I look and 6 meters from me. So people from US, 18 feet away from me.
I didn't actually know it's...
Yeah. I don't know if I was even right, but they don't know how much meters are, so it's like exactly. Nobody knows what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So, anyways, but fairly close to me, there's this old woman in her pajamas, bare feet. That's why probably I didn't hear her coming down the rock stairs, stairways. She's just staring there, like staring at me, and I'm like, she's kind of too far away to just like ask like, hey, how can I help you? I had to like raise my voice a little bit to ask that, and I asked like if I could help her, and she's like, I went to sleep in my room, and then I woke up, and I was awake, and everybody was awake, but I was not in my room, and I was like, okay, so where were you? And
sorry, what?
And who? Everyone was awake because the hallway that she came down from, I couldn't hear anything from there, and it's a hallway. There's no cigar room or whatever room could there be in an old hotel. It's just a hallway for hotel rooms, and well, then I was like, okay, I asked like who else, like who everyone was awake, and then she started like chuckling like, you don't know. You don't know.
Oh,
I'm like,
creepy.
Yeah, that was the creepy moment. That's really. I'm like, okay, so old woman, bare feet, pajama, chuckling.
Yeah, ghost.
Yeah, must be a ghost. But at this point, I didn't think of ghost yet. I was like, okay, creepy old woman. So I asked her to come closer, and she comes closer, and I was like,
come.
Yeah, and yeah, okay.
Okay.
I have to mix these two episodes together with the episode 4. However, so she came closer, and I asked for her name. And what? You just now you got it. I had to put the timer on that. So
I was thinking about it, but then I was like, episode 4. What was it? Sorry, continue.
So I asked her, what is her name, like last name, and she tells her name, and I look for a hotel. For our hotel property management system, and I can't find her name, and I'm like, you're not a guest, obviously, and then I asked with what name
Was the reservation made?
Did she have a reservation? And she said her name, and I'm like, that's impossible. I don't have it. I'm like, now I thought like, is here even anyone? Because there was no one else in the front desk. I couldn't like ask a bellboy like, is there someone standing in front of me? And I didn't want to touch her. So like that's not like slapping like. I could get sued. Anyways, so then I asked if you arrived with someone else, and then she said, yes, with my husband. And I'm like, all right, what might be the husband's name? And then she said like it was very like something like Johnson or something very like basic last name. And I was like, all right, well, I find a Johnson. Could I, Mr. Johnson, have a first name? And it was a match. And eventually she got back to her room to sleep, and I didn't hear from her. But that was a thrilling experience. And,
indeed.
Yeah, it made me think. But that's the closest of a haunted experience I get. Someday I will go and I will make a whole vlog post of it. Yeah, I checked doing my research, which was very narrow for this episode. I also typed in Instagram haunted hotel.
Yeah.
Hashtag haunted hotel. Like there was a lot of. Well, I think was it tens of thousands of posts with that.
Oh, I didn't even think about Instagram research.
Yeah, I actually found some like slutty girls like in a photo shoot like haunted hotel.
They're
not completely out of what I was looking for, but still not necessarily helpful for the podcast.
Yeah, I see.
Still saved. So, let's see. I might have a story.
Okay.
So, jingle time.
I have some stories from Reddit. One like guest experience and one employee experience.
Okay.
Do you have?
Should I take?
Yeah, but do you have like only guest experiences or employee?
Employee experiences.
Okay. Well, let's tell both all the employee experiences.
Alrighty.
Yeah, planning. Stepping up the game.
How will I? I tried to kind of like speak to the microphone and in the same time like look in front of my eyes. Okay, let's see how it goes. Story time.
Ooh.
Was that a sound effect?
Yeah.
Nice.
Thanks.
This story is from Reddit, from Tales from the Front Desk community, and it's written by Obzoro.
Obzoro, sí.
No, I think that's more like Obzoro, like Japanese.
Aha.
Might be.
When you said Obzoro, then I was like, German, yacht.
What? Yacht. All right. So it goes with the subject or topic. Just had some guests tell me this hotel is haunted. Always knew it, but everyone was thought I was crazy. Let's start back in 2008 when I began working here. So okay, let's start from that. So he started working in the hotel in 2008 and wrote this story 1 year ago. That's quite a long career.
Yeah.
I worked 3 to 11. I worked three to 11 shifts and 2 night out shifts. So if you take 5 days a week, it's 3 evenings, 2 nights.
Yeah.
Now I thought that maybe I was going crazy because a few weeks in, I started to see a black shadow on the CCTV moving across one area of the parking lot. Okay, fine. Messed up camera system, could be. Every now and again, I would see out of the corner of my eye, just outside the office, just outside of the office window, a red-headed woman who I would swear would come from the elevator and walk by towards the street.
So now it was the red lady.
It was the red lady, yeah, but it was this woman with the red hair, apparently. But yeah, true. Didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Now, the front desk is right next to the driveway, and the elevator is just behind the office to the left. So I have a good view of the street from here. I would look towards her, and no one would be there. Sure, it could have been because I was tired. After all, it was always between 2 and 5 a.m. That these things would be seen. Probably night audits can relate, they're just messed up. As we talked in like earlier, that you cannot get a good night's sleep when you're working night shift, and then you're just hallucinating. You're like there in this darkness, basically. So I had also heard from a couple of housekeepers over the years that they would be in the room and they would hear what sounded like someone stealing their cart and rolling it down the hall. But when they would step out of the room, there would be no one there. Could have just been noise from another housekeeper. I never experienced this one for myself until tonight, but I will get to that. Now, there have been 2 other front desk employees out of the 20-something that we have gone through since the new management took over in 2014, and one from prior who have also experienced the black shadow moving around the parking lot. Keep in mind that this is also after we got a brand new camera system in 2015.
This is like very detailed information.
Yeah, exactly. Over the last couple of years, things have been dead. It seemed that the change of the ownership, these ghostly friends no longer gave a damn about being seen, as it has been nearly 3 years since I have had an experience. Okay, so I'll just skip forward to the end of the story because this is the scary part.
Oh, yes.
All right.
Stuff.
Around 5:20 a.m., I had the first checkout. So pretty early checkout.
Yeah. Maybe they used that.
Maybe.
Wake up call.
Oh, who knows? They came down with a white expression on their faces. Really nice people throughout the stay, so they were not looking for any comps or discounts. They said that as they were closing the door to the room to check out, they could have sworn they saw a woman with red hair standing in the room. So when you're closing the door, like the last peek, you close the door, you see that someone's standing there with the red hair. Like, that's horrible. But at least it's, there's the door, like slamming the door, like, yep, never coming back. Like, all right, I forgot my phone. Yep, bitch has the phone inside. Don't care. I didn't say anything at all, but like, what the heck? How the hell did this guest know about the red-headed woman? Now I'm freaking because nothing has happened in a really long time, but tonight is a different story. I typically don't believe in this stuff, but when I have been told several times by people I have never mentioned a word to, there has to be some truth to it. Or are all these people as crazy as I am? I don't know.
But like, how can you be that connected? Like,
Observer, that's just horrifying. Like, that is horrifying.
Ew. I get the chills.
Yeah.
It's weird because I don't really believe in ghosts, but then when I'm reading these stories, I'm like, ooh, that's pretty wild.
That is pretty wild.
Yeah. So maybe I still believe.
Do you like horror movies?
Yes.
You like them?
Yeah, I like them.
All right. Have you seen actually? There's a movie, 1048, 1408.
1408. No, I don't think so.
It's actually. It's got quite an old movie. It's from 2007.
Yeah.
It's this horror movie based on Stephen King's novel, and it's about this guy who's like, trust me, guys. I saw it in 2007, so I can't remember too well. But it's about this guy who's like investigating or going to hotels because of their haunted rooms or whatsoever, and kind of experiencing them. I don't remember if he was writing a book or he was making some kind of a video or whatsoever. However, then he goes to this room 1408, and that is the sweet spot because he wasn't like believing in ghosts or anything. He was like, all right, there's nothing here, and it's, even though it says so, and that hotel room changes everything, and it goes pretty like
it goes wild.
It goes wild. All right.
Okay, I have to check them out.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's a good movie, but it's an interesting start.
Yeah. Very nice. Okay, I have one story as well from Reddit, but this is from the is it like chain? I don't know, category? I don't know. What is
Subreddit?
it? Subreddit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Reddit
Sorry,
terms.
Yeah, I'm not really like a Redditor.
Ah, okay.
Oh. Yeah, but this is from the subreddit No Sleep.
No sleep.
Nope.
Ooh.
And
I don't like how this goes.
The subject is very simple. The hotel I worked at was haunted. And this was written by Nick Bodick. Yeah.
Nick Bodick.
3 years ago.
All right.
All right.
Probably dead already. Who knows?
Who knows?
He was experiencing something that he couldn't sleep.
Yeah, but this is I'm gonna skip to the juicy parts as well.
Skip it.
Yes, and he was working night shift, and in the middle of the week he was pretty, calm, just as you had there when you were checking out.
Checking out. No problem. Just
old lady.
Working night shift, checking out.
And they had some kind of renovation on the 3rd floor.
Okay. And where was this lady staying?
He was not staying. He was working.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this was in the US, but he said, never mind what hotel it was. That's not the important
exactly.
part. He was just working there, la la la. And then the phone rang.
At night.
And it was from room 385. No, sorry, 323. Very important detail.
323. Okay.
Yeah,
The important thing is someone staying in that room or not?
So he was like, okay, there has to be something wrong because the 3rd floor is under construction. Yeah. And if people are not used to these phones when you're at the front desk, there is always the room number where the customer calls from. And obviously, if it starts with a 3, then often it's on the 3rd floor. And he was like, okay, just answering like front desk at blah, blah, blah hotel. This is Nick. How may I help you? And then someone was like, and he was like...
And now in the corona times, that would be actually pretty horrifying.
And he was like, out. No, then I was like, oh, sorry, how are you? And then a young woman answered, I'm doing fine. And yourself?
Wait a second.
Wait.
Did you?
No, the woman was like, oh, sorry, I was coughing. How are you?
Oh.
And Nick answered, I'm doing fine. And yourself?
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah, and the woman is, well, not too good actually. And she sounded pretty worried. And then Nick was like, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Is there anything I can help you with? And she was like, I'm not sure. Maybe.
Is there, Nick?
And
you tell me.
And then he was like, sorry, I was just like ignoring you. Nick was like, can I just ask, where are you calling from, ma'am? And she was like, I'm in room 323, and you're right, I need help. And he was like, I had never suggested she needed help, but okay.
All right.
And he was like, ma'am, room 323 is currently unavailable due to the third floor renovation. Are you really sure that's where you are? What's your name? And she was like, I need help, Nick, right now. I don't think I was supposed to come up here. And now Nick was like, oh, I got it. She was just walking around the hotel and then she got stuck there.
Got stuck. Going through renovation, there was door open, calls to the front desk. Yeah, been there, done that.
Exactly. And he was like, okay, what's wrong? What is your name? And she just said, I can't get out. The door won't open. It needs to open. And Nick started to get a bit like frustrated, like, please, can you just tell your name?
Yeah, imagine having this conversation at 3 a.m.
Yeah, and Nick was like, your name, miss. And
your name is, or your name
Miss.
Miss. Okay.
Yeah. And she was like, Marion Kennedy.
Marion Kennedy.
Yeah, and he was like, okay, one moment, please, and just checking, just as you like, okay,
yeah,
in what room is this Marion Kennedy staying? And he didn't find the name. And he was like, sorry, I'm not finding you here. Are you here with someone else who your room may be under? And what room
just
were
like
you initially in? Yeah, this is exactly.
Yeah.
Are you Nick?
I'm Nick.
And she was just like, I need help. Please come to room 323 and help me. Please.
All right, Nick. Get your stuff and go up there.
Yeah. And Nick was like, what the F? And then he put the sign, like, be back in 5 minutes.
And
put
Nick
it on the front
never
desk.
came back.
Wait.
I want to, guess what happens.
Yeah. And he was like, okay, just gotta go there. And he reached the hallway and he was like, okay, there's a lot of like this plastic and stuff, like covers, because it's under renovation.
Yeah.
And he was like, okay, it should be here, this 323 room. And then he suddenly felt like a bit of like some kind of panic.
I just felt cold, like, really, I get goosebumps. What
Ooh.
the heck?
Yeah, and he was like, he's feeling like panic somehow. And he also got like his hair stood up on his neck.
My hair stood up on my head, not.
And he was just like, looking around him a bit. And then he slowly made his way towards the room. And there were just 2 lights on. So pretty dark.
Pretty dark. Yeah, it has to be dramatic.
And then he hears music. And it was like 1920s style music. And he was like, okay.
All right.
That's like weird.
And accurate. 1920s style.
Yeah. And then he was like really shaking. And he was like, okay, now I have to knock on the door. And he was like listening.
I have to knock down the door. The lady said that it won't open.
And he was like, Miss Kennedy?
Mm-hmm.
And no response. And then he was like, oh, just turning around. And just when he was going, he hears a voice from the other side of the door.
Wow, so there was someone in the room.
And it was a male who said, come on in. And Nick said that this man, like, he had a very calm voice.
Ah.
So he was like, okay, this is nothing. And he was like going there, and then he was like, Miss Kennedy called down to the front desk saying she needed help with something. And the man was like, she's in the bathroom right now. Why don't you come in and we'll get to the bottom of it. And he was like, okay. And then he was, the elderly man was like, come on in, boy. We don't bite. And then he was like chuckling as well, like a bit. And then Nick used the master key to unlock the lock and took the doorknob and slowly rotated it. And when he was opening the door, the chuckle was more like a maniac, like laugh, like I don't know if and suddenly the laughing and the music and all the voice like noises like stops, And he was just standing there in silence.
There was nobody in there.
Nobody in there. But then he hears 2 voices. Just a little bit further. And Nick was like, no! And just ran. He ran away, called the cops, and they went to check the room, and nobody was there, of course.
Of course.
And then he was like, yes, there were like no music player, no people, nothing.
So Nick was crazy.
Exactly. And it was also weird that when he heard the music, he also saw some kind of red light there coming from the room.
Uh-huh.
And no red light was found, like nothing where the red light can even come from.
All right.
And he was like, yeah, sorry, I was wasting your time, policeman. Sorry. But they were understanding, and they were like, yeah, it's fine. And then he walked back to the front desk, and there was an envelope.
This was an invoice from the police.
There were room
Plot
keys, and on the envelope it was marked 323.
Oh, so they checked out.
Yes. And on the back of this envelope there was a short survey, and there was marked number 1, which was like poor quality of their stay.
Huh.
And then included a short note on the provided lines below. Maybe next time.
Oh.
Ew! That's so creepy.
That's creepy. That's creepy, all right.
Yeah, I would be, I don't know, I would die.
Yeah, like maybe next time, nope.
Yeah,
like, you know,
nope.
resigning myself.
Exactly.
I'm not working there. I'm not even living in the same country.
Yeah.
All right.
That's wild.
Hard to top that, but let's try.
Yeah, sorry. You should have searched for no sleep instead of front desk tales.
All right.
I can tell a joke now, meanwhile.
Tell a joke, please.
Oh no. It's difficult. I don't have any like jokes. Like I don't have a joke list in my brain. I'm just like, situation comedy, as you said in the first episode. Is this our 6th, 7th?
Basically, we split sustainability and what the damn complaints in 2, but we might actually cut the what the damn complaints out, so that would make this the 7th.
Wow, cool.
Yeah, and I don't actually have a story anymore.
No,
because this was just like, all right. So this is written by Spooky Whispering. So must be true. Must be true. I can read the whole story. I haven't actually even read it, but
read it.
Read it. You got it. Finally cracked the code.
Yeah.
Okay, let's try.
Yes.
My haunted hotel.
No,
it says my haunted hotel, and I actually read the first chapter only, which is the best one, and I will read it right now.
Okay.
So, okay, I love when people think their hotel is unique for having deaths in it. I have worked at 4 different hotels. One of my owners once told me that any hotel over 10 years old will have had deaths in it. So, the fact I told earlier from Reddit is actually coming from Spooky Whispering's old owner.
I can't take it
old
seriously.
owner, so yeah, that not necessarily is not the fact, but it makes sense.
Oh my god, yeah.
The only hotels that don't are because they are brand new, and they even still might have deaths in it. So I started asking the others on my call-arounds. Every hotel in my area had at least 1 death in the past 3 years, if not more. If death equals 100% haunted, 100% of the older hotels are haunted.
Great mathematics.
In my 6 years, I worked shift for 2 deaths at different hotels. 1 natural, 1 murder.
One what? And what?
Murder.
No, what was the in the middle?
Natural.
I heard metro.
No, 1 natural,
Okay.
1 murder.
Okay.
my ex worked at the hotel with one room that was never rented and used as a storage because it was the site of a well-known serial killer double homicide back in the 60s. Deaths in hotels are not rare. I do not subscribe to the front desk survivors. Hey, wait a second, it doesn't say that. It is. I do not subscribe to the death equals haunted formula. Of my hotels, only one acted haunted in my time here. There. It's a long story. I will not read it actually, but that was just the point of having deaths and to cover my back in that idea that, you know, I don't know what I'm gonna say, but I will let you know that I feel spooky whisperer, whoever that guy was. I don't sign the idea either that if someone has died in a hotel that it would be haunted. But I will say one more thing of my own experiences. I worked in this boutique hotel in California, and the lighting in the lobby building was very bad. And there was one painting on the wall, quite big painting of an old woman.
Of course.
I mean, why would there be a painting of an old woman if it's not like it wasn't meaningful for the hotel? It was just a very cool painting somehow. It was
probably when it's old hotel, then it's
historical
probably, persons.
Maybe the painting was actually of a young woman when the hotel was opened, but now the hotel is old and the painting woman in the painting is old as well. But the creepy part was that literally some evening shifts were, and the lighting makes a lot because the lighting was so bad.
Yeah.
And I felt like in all old woman paintings that I've ever seen that somehow the eyes of a painted person follows you, really. So it doesn't matter where you stand, they just stare at you. And one time I was like waiting for the night audit to come there, and I was just there looking at the painting, and the night audit came in and was like, "What's up, Jonas?" And I was like, I'm just looking at this painting like, why is she just staring at me wherever I go? And then the night audit was very understanding behind me, like, I know, dude, she stares at me the whole night. Like, why was that there?
You're never alone there.
Never alone, really. That was a scary painting, and I would never get that kind of painting in my house.
Yeah, I think if I would be a night audit and it's like a very, very quiet night, I think I would be a bit scared.
Yeah.
I think because often night audits are always by themselves, so then you're like they're like la 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 la.
Exactly.
Then, noise. Oh.
And
what was that?
I read one of the stories I read just which didn't make the cut to be mentioned, but anyway, because it was kind of weird, and it actually even included a video. So that video was very cool because he kind of like mentioned in the comments that I have a video about this, and he had a video, but obviously I couldn't show the video here. Maybe I could put it on for your YouTube viewers. However, it doesn't matter. But in the comments, someone was saying like swearing and saying that I should have not read this during my night audit shift.
Yeah.
So that's too bad. But now when I think about it, if I would have a old hotel and I would claim it to be haunted, and I would want people to come there and visit the hotel just because of it's haunted, I would probably place a painting of an old woman just like on front of the bed. So basically when you're sleeping on the bed, you open your eyes a little, you see this big painting of an old woman who's just staring at you. That's exactly what I would do. That would make anyone feel like, it's haunted, and probably turn some people on.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or I wouldn't stay there. I was actually just, when you said like, if I would have a hotel and I would just tell everyone that it's haunted. I think these kinds of hotels are the ones that customers just come there once because, we want to see if it's haunted. And then it's like, okay, next hotel. Like, I think these ones have difficulties to find like customers that are coming back all again. Like,
Yeah, but isn't coming back more old people stuff. Like nowadays, people just travel to a country and they tend to travel like, yeah, what the hell was that voice? I didn't even realize, but like afterwards, that was the old woman voice from the painting.
She's alive.
Yeah, true. Like, you speak now, but you will die at night when you sleep. Like, what the heck was that? Anyways, so yeah, people just tend to go to places where they haven't been before. So I think that's just a good idea. If only it's a place or a destination where there's a lot of tourists, that should work. And now I want to find out if there's any haunted Airbnbs.
True.
Let's figure out this soon.
Let's see.
All right.
Yeah.
So yeah, you told us like last thing before we find out if there's any haunted Airbnbs, because you guys know, and if you heard Ansu's previous story, you might have even found out from Google if there's haunted Airbnbs while we talk. However, so you have had the sleep paralysis. I have not, I guess.
I have never earlier. This was my first time. And do you know what lucid dreaming is?
No.
It's like you can sort of, that you're sleeping and you know that you are dreaming, that you are kind of awake in your dream.
Yeah,
so
I wish that would happen.
And then you can, for example, like just choose like, okay, I'm doing this in my dream and now I want to fly, and then you just fly. I
would do so much stuff that I cannot
tell.
No, that I cannot just do.
Yeah, but a few of my friends have experienced this, and you can actually practice this.
Wow,
and
you can practice this.
Yeah, and it's like you have to get your body to sleep, but your mind should still be active somehow, in some level. So that's when you know that, okay, I'm dreaming now. Now I can start to
fly.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
It's wild. I would like to know how it works, or like how you do it, but I don't know. Anyway.
Another story, yeah.
But yeah, I had this kind of sleep paralysis, but it wasn't that bad. I think it might be a lot worse for someone else.
Okay.
But I think this might be because I had some stressful days, so this might be the reason why I had this. But it was I remember that I was in an old house with some people.
Mm-hmm.
And there was actually my former colleague.
So this was a dream, was where you actually slept?
Yeah, no, this was a dream. I was sleeping here in my bedroom.
Aha, gotcha.
And remember when I was telling the bar struggles and how I popped the champagne?
Yeah.
This was
very vividly.
This was the technique by my former colleague, whose name starts with H.
All right, H.
And this H woman was in my dream, and
she popped up like a champagne bottle.
And it was crazy dream. Yeah. Anyway, so then I remember that it was in the old house. Everybody went to sleep. We were kind of a group of people, and my former colleague and we slept in the same bedroom. It was very, very big. And it was like old beds. It was kind of, I don't know, it was very weird.
Grandma's house.
Yeah, kind of. But then, yeah, I was like, yeah, let's go to sleep. And I was laying in my bed, and I remember that I saw my former colleague on the other side of the room. And it was a very big room. It was like a hall.
Yeah?
Yeah. Anyway, then I remember that the door opened, and kind of a shadow came towards me, and I felt the pressure on me, and this I recognized that it was like a human thing, or like it could have been a person, but I didn't see who it was. And the person came closer and closer to me, and I felt like they are kind of laying on me, and then I felt that they were like, their face was right next to my face. And they are kind of like breathing on me. And this is very weird, but it was actually one of my former customers.
What?
Yeah. And I yelled their name, but let's say that it was Jonas.
Yeah,
so I was like, Jonas, stop, Jonas. And then I kind of woke up that I saw my bedroom, but I still had the feeling that someone is laying on me and the face is right next to my face.
Gross.
And I couldn't move. But I was awake, but I couldn't move. And then I was like, and then boom. and then the pressure stopped. I was awake and I was like, it was horrible. I normally don't have nightmares. I don't even remember when was the last time I had a nightmare, but this. Ooh.
Could you just fall back to sleep after that? Or did you turn on the lights and you're like, all right, it's morning?
No, I was like, I was checking at my door and I was like, okay, I kind of want a glass of water, but I'm not going to the kitchen. So then I was like, I was pretty scared and I was like, taking a blanket around me and I was like, okay, well, let's go. Good night.
I wish Jonas doesn't come to breathe on my face tonight anymore. All right, so that didn't have anything to do with haunted hotels, but that was just a bonus story.
Yes.
That we all learned right now. Okay, confusing.
There is a lot of haunted Airbnbs.
Really?
Yeah.
So someone is actually having a haunted hotel themselves.
Yeah, when you're searching on Google, it's haunted Airbnb near me, haunted Airbnb UK, Texas, Ohio, Canada, Durham, NC, Colorado, Savannah, New York, Salem. Salem is a haunted place as well. There's a lot of the witches, coven.
Okay.
If you haven't seen American Horror Story, there's a lot of seasons. You can find it on Netflix. It's pretty damn good.
Oh, and pretty damn good. It's in Salem, Massachusetts.
And there is one of the seasons. It doesn't have the same story all the seasons. Every season is a new story, and I think it's the third one is about a coven, and they are located in Salem. It's a good one. Tips from coachen.
All right, so there's apparently these 5 haunted or Airbnb's 5 spookiest places. 1 private cell/room in Salem. 2 UFO apartment in Lebus, Germany. 3 haunted castle in Durhamstown, Ireland. 4 Black Castle in Kiev, Ukraine.
Black Castle Airbnb castle.
Yeah.
Wow.
5 Hollywood mysterious villa in Los Angeles. Let me see if there's any pictures. Well, that doesn't help you guys too much, even though this is the YouTube version, so we could put some. But
do they have any nice stories there?
Nope.
Okay.
This sucks. But yeah, seems like there is Airbnbs, sketchy Airbnbs. But are they real though? Are they really haunted? Are hotels really haunted when they say that they're haunted? Is anything haunted? Is ghosts real? Are ghosts real?
I don't know.
I would want that on season 2 or something like this for Foreign Desk Survivors. We would take a call, not on Beyond the Grave, but for some kind of a ghost specialist who would tell us, or maybe a hotel manager of a haunted hotel, or just a front desk associate of a haunted hotel.
Indeed.
And maybe we will. But yeah, all right, now it's in for you guys as well. Thank you very much. You know where to follow. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
And good night.